We'll start the meeting. Hello, everybody. Welcome to POLSA's third GBM of this fall 24 semester. Sign in there, but like I said, in case it doesn't work, our sign-in is available in the Discord. So if you weren't able to get it there, just go in the general channel, click on it. We have a bunch of questions regarding socials going on this semester. So, for example, we have a movie night in mind, we have a game night in mind, we have a fireplace night in mind. So, in order to plan those events, we're trying to find the times and the dates that work best for everybody. So check those out, and then so we can kind of better plan for those events. So again, witamy. The plan. Food, just got it. As you saw, literally just got it from the Rights Union.
Still hot.
So it's still hot. So we'll serve this, and then we'll start going over our stuff. So first of all, go over. All right, while you guys are eating, we'll go through the club and updates and announcements real quick. All right, so let me also put this in this corner for now. So you are here the 4th of November. You have a good job. What the next upcoming one will be with the Ukrainian Student Association. We are meeting with them this Thursday to plan out details for it. So if there's any changes with that, then we'll keep you posted sometime around this week. I would assume Friday. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, for the sign-in today, we had a bunch of questions regarding movie night, card/game night. So we'll be trying to figure that out soon. The movie night, Friday, November 15th, we believe the date is set, but we're just trying to figure out, I think the time was the issue, right?
Yeah.
So that one you can start marking in your calendars that we'll be doing that. Language night, we're having one not in person, but we're having one on Zoom this Wednesday because Apollonia is not in Gainesville at the moment. So because she wanted to host it, we'll be accommodating her request to make it on Zoom this week. So if you're interested, instead of Discord, for those people who don't like using Discord and are maybe too, or just it may seem daunting to them, we're doing a Zoom alternative this week. That being said, we're also doing a Discord virtual language session on Discord, and that will be with the students from University of Warsaw. Last week, we had a very, very fun session where basically we had a tier list of Polish foods, and we went through about half of that tier list. So about, I would say 15, was it 15? Yeah. About 15 dishes to start. And along with the students from the University of Warsaw, we all collectively decided where everything belonged. I believe pierogi was an S, but although if you want to check, progress is in our food and cooking, both the Polish and English versions of the channel. So if you want to see what it started off as, you can take a look at that. And if you find something you really disagree with or it sounds interesting to you, come join us this Thursday, 2:30 p.m. That would be 8:30 p.m. for them in Poland. So that's why it is at that time. So yeah, stop by. We had a blast last time, and it'll be, I'm sure, fun this time around. I was laughing like most of the time for the previous one. So I'll plug this one for Apollonia. She's doing the craft and care. They'll be having another collaboration either this month. I think this month is from what I remember, and they'll be like crocheting, like squares, blankets.
Yeah, they'll be continue crocheting the squares, like the granny squares, to make the quilts, and also teaching how to make other things like little plushies, for example, that you see on screen.
And what she's trying to do is once everybody makes all these things, she has an orphanage that I believe she has a close connection with in Poland, and what she's trying to do is collect all the stuff and then send it as like a nice little gift for them for Christmas, along with some cards written in Polish. So if any of that seems interesting to you, scan that QR code and check it out. If you don't have any experience, don't worry. They do teach you. Sometimes those lessons don't really have the biggest effects on people. I didn't make much progress last time, but still, if you want, I think they had naleśniki last time. We'll probably have some other Polish food this time around, some other thing. If you want to give it a shot, help out orphans in Poland, then this would be a fun little thing that you could do. All right. Sports. What happened? What happened since we last met, guys? So Poland. Unfortunately, we lost 3-1 against Portugal in the Nations League. So it's looking like we will not be top of the group in the Nations League. However, we will probably still be in League A by the end of it. We did tie with Croatia the next game. So all we need to do is not blow it against Scotland in the last game. We should be okay. In the UEFA Conference League, Jagiellonia Białystok beat Petrov Kub from Moldova, I believe, 2-0. And then I don't remember where the other team is from, but Legia beat them 3-0. So far in the UEFA Conference League, in the group stage, our Polish teams are undefeated. So very good. We're very happy with that. And in the Polish league, my beloved Jagiellonia Białystok is currently second, tied on points with Lech Poznań. And then as far as top of the table, Śląsk Wrocław is last with 9 points, which is surprising considering they were second place basically last season. All right. Here's something I'll be plugging real quick. This Thursday, we have our first basketball game. We have a group, quite a few people from POLSA, and then also a few of my friends from outside. We frequently gather at these events and, Polish slurs at the ref, have fun. Basically, we're the Polish ultras here on campus. So if you want to come hang out, this is always a fun time. Our basketball team is ranked 21st in the US as far as preseason goes. So very good. And I have huge hopes for them to, be very good this season. So if you're interested, you want to meet up for these games, see what it's about. If we're not currently connected, then you can come reach out to me after the presentation, then we can arrange details as far as meeting up either this Thursday or for future games. All right, and then one small update as far as the basically the point system works. I've now decided virtual language nights are worth 2 points, just everything worked the same to encourage attendance. And then, like I said, in the past GBMs, 15 points. You're in this semester, you automatically qualify for this. This is what it looks like. So you would get to automatically, and then we also have Ptasie Mleczka, which I don't have with me to demonstrate, like the highlight, but they're like Polish marshmallow type things. There would be 3 boxes of them. All the people who qualify with 15 points or more, raffle. Whoever gets it, gets it. So that's that. All right, here are the links again, if anybody needs any of them. Oh, wait, 1 sec. All right. So with that, our presentation today is about jesień w Polsce, which translates to autumn in Poland or fall in Poland. So to start, what's the weather like? Average temperature is around 9 degrees Celsius. Oh, gotta put this on real quick. I'm getting chilly right now just thinking about it. Ooh. All right, I'm ready for the weather now. So, like I said, about 9 degrees Celsius or 48 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you who use American units. This year, daylight saving hours took place the 27th of October, so a full week before us. Hence why language night or language session was an hour later than it normally was last week. November is when the temperature usually starts to drop, averages around 4 degrees Celsius, so even colder. I know it's difficult for us Floridians here to imagine, but sometimes in Poland, or most of the time, the leaves on the trees change color, they fall, and sometimes the trees are bare. So that's what happens. So that means it's the weather perfect for hiking. Starts to get chilly. You can put on stuff like this, boots for hiking. Go to the mountains where Poland has plenty, and then that's the stuff that you would see looks something like the stuff to the right. So we have Sopot in the top image. Middle image is Wrocław. They have like a famous a building with like a moss. It starts to change color to those fun colors, and then on the bottom Bieszczady. And by the way, I brought, not only was this part of like the cold weather, but I also wanted to show this off because this is some of the stuff that they hand out at the basketball games. So I got this sweater and this cap from 2 different games. If you get there pretty early in advance, you will more than likely get what they offer: t-shirts, sweaters. This is the best thing I've gotten from there. I'm very happy with it, and winter hat as well. So some games they just hand out normal t-shirts and whatnot, but if you're consistent, you go to all the games like I try to, you get really cool stuff. So that's why I wanted to show this off real quick.
So we talk about agriculture in Poland and harvest. So surprisingly, the surface area of agricultural land in Poland is about 50% of the total country's area. And the richer soils are found in the central and southern parts of the country, excluding those at like the higher elevations, such as the Bieszczady Mountains. Some of the main exports or products, agricultural products, are cereal grains and cereal products. So wheat, rye, oats, and other things like that. We are the second largest producer of rye and the fifth largest producer of oats worldwide, and the largest producer of something called triticale, which is a hybrid between rye and wheat. Didn't know that. Also, tobacco products accounted for as much as 9% of our exports in 2022. At least where my family's from, we have a lot of tobacco in our area being grown. And also for fruits and vegetables, we're the third largest producer of apples. Did not know that, behind China and the USA. A big exporter of sugar beets, which are used to make sugar products, obviously, and potatoes and cabbage. Not really surprising considering our cuisine. Harvest in September looks like a lot of potatoes, carrots, beets, and apple picking. But some other fruits include plums, pears, and fresh cranberries. Again, sunflower seeds are very popular to snack on, and then walnuts and hazelnuts. September is also a good time to finish up on mushroom picking, which is also really big in Poland. In September, chestnuts are also very big. It's a popular activity for kids to make little figures out of chestnuts, or kasztany and acorns, żołędzie, and some little figures are featured there. And then also another fun craft is making korale, or necklaces from jarzębina, or rowan red berries. As for October and November, there's the harvest of potatoes, carrots, parsley, beets, and celery. That ends in October. And then pumpkin is really big, kind of like here. And then in November, it's also the perfect time to eat Brussels sprouts, apparently. Yeah.
Super underrated. Super underrated.
No.
All right, so I was gonna be touching on winter preparations. So in many Polish households, it's common for to stack firewood like in this picture above here, and it's basically just for easy access when the winter comes, you know, and you got firewood here, fireplace. Many people prep for winter colds by making like their own syrups, herbal teas, and they store medicinal herbs so that when cold season comes by, they're prepared. And then in also touching on the next slide, the Polish kitchens transform into like a yard station, which leads me. Then go to the next slide.
One sec on the real thing. One of the prep for winter, like the syrups that you can make, there's like a onion, like you add like I don't know, I need to ask the exact recipe, but it's basically like a lot of sugar, onions basically. I think it's like pickled, right? Or no?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, but I'll find what's up?
Well, I remember it's raw.
Raw. Okay, so yeah, raw sugar, and you basically just make a syrup from that, and it's supposed and it is because whenever I was sick, syrup cebulowy, and you had it. So that was my thing. So that was one of the other ones that I wanted to just quickly mention.
So next, as Diana was talking about, this is like a harvest season for a lot of vegetables like cucumbers, cabbage, beets, and peppers. And so people will jar them with vinegar, dill, garlic, you know, other things from their gardens. And this isn't usually done on a small scale. It's people usually, you know, gather there with their families or neighbors, and they, as you can see in that picture, make a ton of jars to get them through the winter, not only throughout the whole year. Once they're ready, they're moved to pantries or cellars where they're preserved all over long. And so I wanted to like basically talk about a couple of dishes that you can make from the jarred goods. So from pickles, you can always eat those in any dinner, but you can also make zupa okurkowa, which is cucumber soup. From kapusta, which is sour, kapusta kiszona, which is sauerkraut. You can make bigos or kapuśniak, which are
S tier foods, y'all. S tier.
and then buraczki, pickled beets.
Or alternatively, you could take a different route with this. And I have experience with this myself. So once you have these fruits or some of these other things that you collect, you can make alcoholic beverages called nalewki, which they're basically a liquor. They're 40 to 75% alcohol by volume. You basically take some of these fruits that you collect. In my case, it was wild cherries, also known as wiśnie in Poland. We collect those. As you can see, the first three images was the work, taking all the seeds out of the wiśnie. Then once that's done, I hand off the assembly the assembly of those to my parents. They add sugar, and then they start basically adding sugar, vishnya, sugar. I already said sugar. Vodka, and then like spiritus, all of the alcohols. You basically just leave it. You start the process, and then we hand it off. Once we came back to the States, we give it to our grandparents, and they finish off the mixture, adding, tasting it, and then adding sugar, vodka, spiritus on an as needed basis. Vishnya are predominantly made in July, or Vishnyuvka is the name of the nalevka, but in that case, that's predominantly made in July, as that's when the Vishnya are most mature, and that's when they start falling. So that's when you start making that. That being said, in the fall, you start making nalevki from plums, jikaruza, which translates to dog rose, elderberry, pigva, which is kins, I guess. I didn't know the English name for that, but pigvówka is one of the better nalewki out there, I would say. From chokeberries, which in Polish is aronia, cranberries, żurawina in Polish, and then citrus fruits are like a year-round thing, so you can make them whenever you want. Like I said, I'm an expert. I'm fairly experienced in making vishnyówka, but I've also sampled pigvówka, malinówka, a few of the other ones. So they're all good. I would say as far as alcohols go, I feel like this is probably, is it unfair to say that this is like our national thing, or like that we specialize in? Okay, so that's what I would say. Citrunówka as well is also very good. So yeah, had all those very good.
To add to what he was talking about, sometimes the fruit can also just be made to make compotes, like plums and stuff. But I want to talk about some holidays. One of them is Dożynki, and this is a celebration of the farmers' work. And it has also become a religious festival, being like Poland is a very Catholic country, as Thanksgiving to God and the Blessed Virgin Mary for a successful harvest. And the wreath is a really big symbol for Dożynki. People will like come together and make these large wreaths, like pictured here, from wheat and rye, and decorate them with flowers and ribbons, and often enter them in public contests. But a lot of Dożynki festivals are organized by like gminy and powiaty, where like local politicians of those areas will take like a host role and receive the wreath and like bread that's made from the harvest, and alongside the Catholic priests. And then it's just a lot of fun, singing, dancing. They'll have music on a stage, for example, a lot of food areas, and sometimes even mini amusement parks for children. And then there's Andrzejki. This is comes from the name Andrzej, or celebrates Saint Andrew, and like the name day that goes with that on the eve of the saint's holiday, which is November 29th, just before Advent starts. So it's kind of just a lighthearted celebration nowadays for youth, in the prospect of love in the form of fun and fortune-telling games. So it'll be like boys and girls like fortune-telling the name of their spouses in the future. So one of the characteristic rituals is eating wax and then dropping it into cold water through like a skeleton key. And then the wax is held up to a wall where light is shined on it, and then it'll cast a shadow, and you're supposed to decipher like the characteristics of your husband. And then there's a lot of other ones, but another one is like girls will write down like common boys' names, for example, on pieces of paper, keep them under the pillow, sleep, and in the morning take out one note from under the pillow, and that's the name of their husband to be.
And Piotr's a lucky guy that night.
Really lucky.
And just a really quick one, which we one of our other board members, but he was busy today, was supposed to was going to talk about was All Saints Day, which we had every year. It's the 1st of November. And really quickly, I can just show a few basically images of what that looks like instead of having a slide on it. To kind of show you this kind of stuff that happens in there, because comparing what you see in Poland to what you see in the US, for example, it's light and day difference. So for example, you'll have, all these like candles, like everybody, I would say pretty much everybody in Poland goes out to a cemetery, go visit their loved ones, have a candle lighted up, all this stuff, and in the tons, because in Poland, it's fairly common that people will go to the graves of their loved ones and they'll have the candle ready. And they'll do this, like, for example, my grandfather does this maybe like bi-weekly, maybe once a month. So instead of that, where just people are doing it, where you see a few of them in the cemetery, it'll be the entire graveyard, the whole entire cemetery will be lit up like this. People bring that, offerings, which is kind of more in tune with kind of like what the former traditions of Jade were. And so yeah, that's kind of what you see here. And yeah, Catholic holiday, but they'll still have some influences from the past Jade traditions. So with that, Kahoot time, and I will get that ready. So really quick, I'll turn this off, and then I will prep that.
And if anybody wants to get seconds.
Yes, in the meantime, get seconds while we're waiting. Yes, whatever you need so that you have the fuel needed to succeed in this game. So it's not Kahoot, it's like a slight alternative. It has more options. I didn't know how many people show up today, so I wanted to make sure everybody could join. Let's try it out.
Then today's prizes will be given to the top 3 people. Grand prize, Garetki. And then second and third place will get Rzeszki and Principal.
Unless you don't like Alaska, in which case we can make some slight accommodation. But once everybody joins, this is an individual round game this time around, as opposed to the group ones we've done in the past. So free for all. Try to knock each other's teeth out today while we're doing this one. Keep it civilized, you know. Once everybody's good to go, let me know. Question: anybody still trying to join? Anybody still? All right, see one there. With that, is everybody good? So we'll go FM11 there. Starting in 3, 2, 1. I believe I'll need to click next. Okay, never mind. We're chilling. Nice. So yeah, it was 9 degrees Celsius. I put 48 there in case somebody tripped up and put the Fahrenheit instead of the Celsius one. Quick, easy. Quick and easy. I like it. Let's see. See what the breakdown was for this one. So yeah, first one I put the 0.50 instead of 50 because it's already in percent form. So I wanted to see if I can get with that one. And then 50 being the right answer. The other two just throw you off. Nope. Oh, that was that. So let's see what we got. So Aroniówka was the only one, Aronia. The other ones, I talked about a bunch about Wiśniówka. Like I said, that one's primarily made in July. So that was a distinction there. And then the other two, which I currently cannot see. Morello is also like a summertime mainly. That's when that fruit's ripest. Malinówka as well. So Aroniówka is the only one made during the fall. So hence that's the answer for that one. Let's see what the response is. Okay, yeah, Jade. So So Dzień Wszystkich Świętych is a Catholic mainly to commemorate all the saints in up to this day in the Catholic Church. Dożynki was primarily the modern connotation was with the thankful for Mother Mary and the harvest, I guess. And then Andrzejki was also for Saint Andrzej. So Dziady was in the past before Dzień Wszystkich Świętych. Dziady was basically some of the pagan I guess commemorations of the dead. So hence why that one is correct. Okay, let's type this one in. 5 total characters. What was the date? Let's see for this one what we have. So good, it looks like 10/27, and then so yeah, a week before ours, which falls on that date. I'll let you cover one. Yes. That was low-key thinking about making this one the type in on about will be fun. Yeah, it was Piotr. Piotr was the lucky guy in that image. Maybe had a future wife set locked up or it's weird. Let's see. So far, it looks good. Looks good. So bigos is the one that is made with the sauerkraut. Barsz, technically, I've seen some instances where it's added, but that's very, very rare, not the Polish version of it. So I would say no. Ratatouille is a French dish, which I from the movie saw some things about it recently. So I was like, let's just add it. And then zupa cebulowa is cebula is onion, and is usually you do not add sauerkraut to that one. So bigos is the English translation, I guess, is hunter stew, which is basically a whole bunch of sauerkraut, a whole bunch of meats, cabbage. You basically slow cook it for as long as possible, I would say, for like best effect, and then you have a very good stew slash dish. Probably my favorite Polish food of all time, honestly. So one of them was not on that slide, so I just figured I'd pick fairly common one. See who I can throw off with this one. Strawberries is not. I mean, there you go, easy. I don't even need to explain that. Why am I explaining this one? You guys got this. Good job. Probably should have said usually because maybe there are a few psychos who do this, but I think this one is either way, like the way I worded it was good enough. Let's leave that for the Nordic people. All right. Maybe said it once or twice, don't remember. No, so that is not absolutely not the case. So let me make this super clear. All right, so pigwówka, that was not the I mentioned that I have had some before, but that I do not have experience making it. That being said, czereśnie are basically sweet. sweet cherries, and so they will taste very, very different than wild, like the wild cherries. And they're like more sour cherries, I would say even.
I think they're called sour.
And I think sour cherries is even the better distinction for this one. So hence two very different things. I would say predominantly more so people would eat chereshnya than they would eat vishnya, but then they would make vishnuvka rather than chereshnyuvka. And honestly, I kind of made up chereshnyuvka for this one just to, but I did check, and I think it has people do make that too, but it's far less common than vishnuvka, which is the most common one. All right. All right. In case anybody had any doubts whether I'm an alcoholic or not.
Voice?
Huh?
No, this one as well.
This one's terrible.
You're gonna be all of them?
Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? Just to see if anybody was paying attention. The answer, all of them. Was it wrong? Okay, yeah. All of them are correct. Not all of them, all are good. If I had to say a favorite of mine, and honestly, I think it'd be hard to find a person who says otherwise, but homemade ones, when you like spend the time to make them yourself, far better than any store-bought one that you have, and therefore the ones that we've made. Maybe it's some like bias in me that like, oh, my hard, effort into this, that it tastes that good. But honestly, it's just like when you spend the time, like for us, it's like a year-long process. We start making them, like we collect them 1 year. We basically start off the process, and then we come back the next year, and that's when we take our first, like, I guess, shots of it or sips of it, because you don't shot it, you enjoy it. Then yeah, that's really when it's good. So vishnuvka, my favorite because it's obviously the homemade one. But when I've had homemade other people's versions of them, still like the one that we made was the best. So in case I haven't talked enough, let's end the quiz and see who we have for the results. So third place, second place, first place. Good job. I don't know the names. So if you see your name up here, come up. We got a prize for you. So 1, 2, and then there was one more. So sprout poppins. Anybody wants to see a breakdown of the questions? Come up. Good job. Sprout poppins first. If you those, or would you like something else?
Yeah.
Is that good?
This is good.
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 Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Second place. Well, take your pick. There you go. So good job. So give yourselves, everybody, a round of applause. Good job today. That's more or less what we have prepared for you today. So at this point, feel free to stick around, socialize. But as far as what we've come prepared with today, that would be all. So yeah, grab more food, drinks. As we say in Poland, has to go. So has to go. So keep going back for more until they're gone, please. Because otherwise, fun story, y'all. So my sophomore year when we had Zapikanki one time. Huh?
Are you talking about?
Of course I'm talking about this. We ordered like I think $100 worth of them. So they came out to about 6 of those trays. And there was about 2 full trays left over. So being Polish and having it ingrained in me that food doesn't go to waste, you best believe I took all 2 of those trays back home, froze about 1 tray of them, and then the rest of them just, day by day, about 3 of those per day, just so they were all gone. So to spare me from that, please, they have to go today. So I don't have to do that again. So
And you didn't have your roommate.
I did have my roommate, but he only contributed to about 6 of them. So that was not enough. So yeah, that's that. Thank you all. Have a nice day.